I know that TierMakers are a dead video, like they were done a long time ago, but I want to do one. I want to do one for Alton Towers because I miss Alton Towers. Even though Alton Towers is open, I currently live in Northern Ireland, so I cannot afford to go over to England to go to Alton Towers, which is a shame because I normally go like 2 times a year. I've not been in a while. So I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to rate the rides because I miss them. So I actually found an Alton Towers TierMaker on the TierMaker website, which saved me a lot of time because I couldn't be bothered uploading all the images and whatever. I'm very glad it's here. There is also another one that I found that has way more, but they're things like Go-Jetters and Octonauts and Postman Pat, and I hate to sound like a fake fan, but I've not been on them. So like I'll just stick to this one. Also, this one doesn't have the Smiler on it. I don't know if I've just missed it. No, it doesn't have the Smiler on. So yeah, this is just kind of the main rides, which works well for this. So we've got S tier, A, B, C, D. I feel like I'm going to rate them all really high. I'm going to try and be critical. I love them all so much. Starting off with the Smiler. I think, the Smiler was before the Wickerman Smiler one was my favourite ride. Smiler Man? Oh my gosh, right. No, the Smiler is my favourite ride, so obviously it's going to be an S tier. I think, yeah, if I was rating all the rides 1, 2, whatever, it would definitely be 1. So yes, I love Smiler. I love the feeling of it. I love the theming of it. I just adore it. I would go on it multiple times in a day if I could be bothered to queue. Oblivion. I think Oblivion, I'm kind of middling about it. Oblivion's kind of always the first one that I go on in a day, but I think it's too short to be anything above B tier. Like, obviously it's a fantastic experience. It's a great thing to go on, especially if I think it's a really good ride to go on, like first thing when you get there in the day, because it's a good like start into your day, short roller coaster, thrilling experience, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think I would put it above B tier just purely because of the fact that it is so short. Also, every single time I go, I know that the guy...
Welcome to Oblivion.
...is nothing like James Bond, but the guy in the video, I'm always like, it's James Bond. I don't know why I'm telling this story, it's got literally nothing to do with the video, but it always reminds me of James Bond, so... There's a tidbit. Runaway Mine Train. I don't think it's high enough to be S tier, but I definitely... I was going to say A tier, but I don't know if I would put it above Oblivion. No, we're going to put it in B tier. It does have a fond place in my heart, just because it's just so like, I don't know the word. It's just a fun ride, especially for like towards the middle or the end of the day. It's just fun. Like it's a good ride. Like it's a nice experience. Obviously it's a lot like smoother than the more thrill rides, but it's just a little bit of fun. Scream if you want to go faster, or choo choo. I don't know. I always just get a really good laugh on this ride. I think the ride operators are always like a good laugh as well. Next, Congo River Rapids. I do like Congo River Rapids. I say as I put it lower, I don't know whether to put it C or D. I think it's one of those rides that if I don't, well, it's not even a ride, but I think it's one of those, like, I'm going to call it a ride just for the purpose of this, that I think I'm not too fussed if I don't go on it. So purely because of that, I think I'm going to put it in D tier, because like I can end the day of not gone on River Rapids and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not too fussed. I always preferred the log flume to the River Rapids, if I'm being honest, but obviously now it's the only water ride, so it's good on a hot day. But especially as well, like a lot of the time you go and it's raining and like, or it's cold, and I'm like, I don't really want to go on a water ride and get colder and wetter. So yeah, it's good, but only on a hot day. Next, we have Galactica. Now, I think if Galactica was still air, I think I would put it in A or maybe even S tier, but I'm going to put it in B. Now, I think the reason is because air was one of my favourite rides when air was air. And I think the whole reason why air works so well is because you see where you're going. It's such a smooth ride experience, and it really, like, it makes you feel like you're flying. Now, I have a lot of issues with VR. I have never been able to get VR. I've never enjoyed VR in or outside of roller coasters. Like, I have been to Alton Towers both with my glasses and taking glasses off for rides, and with contact lenses, and both experiences I've never been able to like get the VR to be in focus. I don't know whether it's just me. I mean, I'm presuming it's just me. I'm presuming it's not like an everyone problem, otherwise it would have been fixed. But like, I just can't seem to get the VR to work. And I don't like it. Like, the whole thing about roller coasters, I think, is because you can see where you're going. Like, I don't get motion sick on roller coasters, but my gosh, when I rode Galactica as Galactica for the first time, I felt so ill because of the fact that you just can't, you don't know where you're going, so your body can't like preempt, well, not preempt, your body can't prepare for a turn or an upside down or whatever. And I actually didn't go on Galactica for a long time because we went on it when it opened and we tried the VR and we hated it. And then I think for a while after it opened, you had to wear the VR. So we literally didn't go on it for years until one day we were getting towards the end of the day and we had time for another ride. And we were like, well, should we just go and see like if we can ride Galactica without the headset? And that's obviously we asked and we were told yes. So literally every time I go on it now, I don't wear the headset. I think it's a shame. I think it was a cool idea. It was a nice move, but I don't think it worked very well. I do like the branding for Galactica. I actually think I prefer the theming for Galactica over Air. I just didn't like the VR, and that's why I put it in B. That was a very long explanation for I'm having a bit of fun tier ranking video, but hey ho. So next is Nemesis. I think I'm going to put in A tier, just purely because it's a good ride. The theming was, obviously I can't say I literally was not alive when it opened, but I think the theming was probably good for the time because, you know, there wasn't like loads of theming around the park. I mean, there was, I don't really know what I'm talking about, I'm just chatting rubbish. I think I wouldn't put in an S tier because I don't think it's like one of my all-time favourites, but I do really, really like Nemesis. I think it's a really fun ride experience, especially when you're at the back as well. Like, I must say I much prefer Nemesis to the back than at the front, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it's just S tier to me. It's a shame they got rid of the pink water around the ride. I think that made it so much cooler. Like, obviously I understand that they probably got rid of the pink water because it was some sort of like environmental issue, which yes, obviously, like, get rid of it if it's an environmental issue, but it looked really cool. And then when they got rid of that, it was just kind of like I think the theming's kind of lost now. I think Nemesis of Terror was good for bringing that theming back, because before Nemesis of Terror I didn't really understand the Nemesis theming, but then obviously Nemesis of Terror kind of goes into it a lot more, but obviously Nemesis of Terror isn't there anymore, so like new people maybe don't get to experience the theming as much, if that makes sense. I don't know. Again, I'm chatting rubbish. Let's just move on. Jewel. Oh, I really want to put it in S tier. I don't think I'm going to put it in S tier purely because, I don't know, I just, like, I have a very special place in my heart for Jewel. I don't know if you've seen my Alton Towers Sims build video, you'll know that Jewel has a special place in my heart. I don't think I can put it in S tier because, like, at the end of the day, there has been times that I've gone to Alton Towers and I've not gotten on Jewel and I've not been too sad about it. But I love Jewel. I think it's great. It's just something about it that I love. Just having that like little bit of competitiveness, just midday. I love it. I love the theming. Like, I hate haunted house rides, right? I hate them. Like, I am petrified. I don't know. There's just something about Jewel that I just really love. Next is Hex. I don't know whether to put Hex in C or D. I know some people love Hex. I'm just like not that fussed. Again, I'm going to put it on D purely because, like, I put Congo River Rapids in D because there'll be times that I won't go on it and I'm not too fussed. Like, I probably go on Hex less than I go on Congo River Rapids. I think it's kind of one of those experiences that you do once or twice and then you're like, okay, well, I've done that now. You know, you wouldn't want to go on it again and again. It's cool. I think the theming and the idea of it's really cool. I think one of the reasons I'm not too keen on it is because the first few times I went on it was when I hadn't got contact lenses yet, so I didn't know when the like ride was going to be, so I just gave my dad my glasses when we walked in. Now bear in mind, I am very blind without my glasses. I cannot see a thing. Like, normally I give my dad my glasses as we're getting on a ride and he gives them me as we're getting off. So to go through that experience without my glasses, I don't know why I didn't just ask for them back, but okay. So to go through that without my glasses, I mean, it wasn't enjoyable. Same with Nemesis of Terror, to be honest. My gosh, the end of Nemesis of Terror, and I didn't have glasses, I couldn't see, and there was people screaming in my face to get out, and I was like, what is going on? I can't see. But yeah, so that's why I'm putting it in D. I don't know, like I said, it's cool, but I wouldn't go on it loads of times. Rita, I think I'm gonna put Rita in C. Rita's never really been one of like my like favourite. I don't even know if I would put it in C. I don't know if I'd put it in D. I don't really have anything against Rita. Like, it's a nice ride, but I'm just never too fussed going on it. Like, if we can get on it, great. But there's just lots of other rides that I would rather go on if we don't have the time to get onto Rita. It's a cool ride experience. I understand that they had to fit the theming to 13 when it changed to Gloomy Wood. I mean, not Gloomy Wood, Dark Forest. I mean, not as if Rita really fit the Ugland vibe anyway, but I think I preferred Rita's theming before Dark Forest. The names are too similar, I always get them mixed up. Before Dark Forest, I guess it's kind of cool that you're trying to escape. I don't know. I think it just worked better the way it was before. And the ride, like, it's nice, but I'm not overly fussed on it. Same with Spinball Wizard. Now, I actually don't manage to get on Spinball Wizard that often, purely because it gives my dad motion sickness. So, like, if I go on, and I always go to Alton Towers with my dad, so if I go on Spinball Wizard, it's by myself. I think in the past, like, 5 years, I think I've been on it once. It's a nice enough ride, but, like, I don't know whether to put in C or D. No, I'm going to keep it in C. No, because there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with Hex or River Rapids. I'm just not, like, I just don't really care. So last two, and I've just done this in the order that it was placed, but really I should have done it in a random order because I think both of these are going in S tier. 13, funny enough, before the Smiler came out, 13 was my favourite ride. I love it. I know it's not like the massive, like, thrill ride, like, it's not like throwing you about or anything. Like, I mean, you literally it's just a bar. It's not like you're, like, strapped in. But I don't know, I just love 13. I think the theming's really cool. Like, I always remember the first time that I went on it. Unfortunately, the first time I went on it, it had been spoiled, so I don't want to say, in case, I mean, to be fair, it's unlikely that people are going to watch this video that's not been to Alton Towers, but, like, the twist in the ride was spoiled for me before I went. Even though I went in, like, the first week of it opening, someone told me what happened, which I was not pleased about, but whatever. Hey ho, I still love it, and I think even when you know it's coming, it still kind of takes you by surprise, which I think is, like, really great. I love 13. Like, it's weird because normally in day-to-day life, I don't like spooky stuff. Like, I'm not like, I mean, I like Halloween, but I'm not like one of those girls that's, like, obsessed with Halloween. Not that there's anything wrong with that, just I'm not massively into Halloween and spooky stuff, I suppose. But I don't know, I love 13. I really like it. So, yeah. And then lastly, Wickerman. I think Wickerman's also S tier. I don't know whether Wickerman's S tier or A tier. I'd say if I had to, like, list my favourite Alton Towers rides, it would definitely be, like, Smiler, 13, and then Wickerman. But I don't know whether I would put it in S or A. Do I think it's on the same level as Smiler and 13, or do I think it's on the same level as Smiler and 13. I think for a wooden coaster, like, it's absolutely fantastic. Like, I was not expecting the, like, speed and, like, thrill from Wickerman, especially the first time I went on it. I think it's, like, because the only other kind of wooden coasters that I can remember going on is Megaphobia in Oakwood in Pembrokeshire, which is relatively old at this point, so it's quite, like, it's not a smooth ride, and I'm presuming that, like, later on down the line Wickerman's probably not going to be a smooth ride, like, in 10-15 years time, like, it's probably going to get rickety. And then the only other wooden coaster I can remember going on is, I can't remember the name of it, but, like, whenever I say this, people seem to know, people that have been on it immediately know what I'm talking about. It's a wooden coaster in Busch Gardens in Florida, and, like, my gosh, I have never went on such a rickety coaster in my life. Like, I genuinely felt like my teeth were going to fall out. Like, that is just, oh, even thinking about it now, it's giving me a headache. But Wickerman's a very smooth ride. Theming wise, impeccable. Like, I love the way that Alton Towers makes even the queue more interesting. Like, I know the majority of the queue leading up to Wickerman is just a queue, but then you've got the, like, pre-show at the start, which is, well, the end of the queue, and I just love the theming of it. I think it's just, they've really done a good job with Wickerman. And I think as well, I really am just rambling at this point. I think the first drop in Wickerman, it really took me by surprise. That you can tell from especially the first photo that I had from Wickerman that I really was taken by surprise from that drop. I think it is an absolutely fantastic ride. So I suppose as I'm talking so well about it, I think I've done the right thing by putting it in S tier, but yeah. So there we go. There is my Alton Towers ranking. Yeah, I think it looks pretty dead on. I think, like, yeah, I'm happy with that. I really miss Alton Towers. I really want to go back. I was really, really hoping that I could get over for the 40 years, but alas, I don't think I'm going to be able to. I was literally meant to be, well, when I say this week, I mean when I film this, it's probably going to be a while till this goes up, but at the moment it is the, like, second week in September. I was meant to be going over to see my family, who I've not seen since February, and we were going to go to Alton Towers, but obviously here I am. I can't afford it. I don't know how safe it is. I don't know if it's allowed, so I'm here filming YouTube videos, but no, I really miss Alton Towers. I cannot wait to get back. Hopefully it'll be soon. Otherwise I'm going to go a bit mad. But for now, this will have to do. So yeah. Have any of you guys been to Alton Towers recently? Do you want to go to Alton Towers? What's your favourite rides? I'm guessing that it's a lot of people's would, like...
That's that you had.
I think anyone that does this, it would be a very different, like, people's favourite rides are just completely different person to person. Like, I know there's a lot of people that like this one, there's a lot of people that like Wickerman, but I think, oh my gosh, I really am rambling at this point. How long have I been filming? Hold up. 20 minutes. I've been rambling about Alton Towers for 20 minutes. I just love it a lot. I have a special place in my heart for Alton Towers. It's one of my autistic interests. So I can talk about it for a long time. So I'm going to stop rambling now. I hope you guys are all staying safe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye guys. What's that? I don't know. I don't know why I felt the need to do that. Oh, goodbye.